What's going on, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of Speaking of WWE. On this week's episode, I have a lot of news to go over with you guys. So, I'm going to get right into it. There's a lot of rumors right here on this week's episode of Speaking of WWE. A lot of news, a lot of stuff that's happened throughout the week. I'm going to give you guys also a Raw review and my thoughts on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. This is also going to give you guys a chance to leave your feedback in the comments. You might disagree, you might agree with me on everything that I have. But just what I like to do. Provide the intel. You guys can do whatever you want. Comment down below. Not even comment. You can like, subscribe to my channel as well, which I need you guys to do. So, let's get right into everything. I'm very passionate about this wrestling business. There's a lot of things here that I like to call wrestling. You know, I'm a big fan of wrestling, like I said. From all the way to AEW when it comes out. I'm going to be a fan of that. You know, we loyal to WWE, yeah. Of course, I also like every other wrestling thing out there. So let's get right into the news that I have here. First things, it was very sad hearing the news of Ashley Mazzaro passing away. My thoughts and prayers go out to her and her family. I had one of the biggest crushes on her when I was younger, in my 20s. I'm a lot older now. I did have like a little mirror collage of her, pictures of her, and a cardboard photo thing I had framed on my wall as a kid. I'll just say kid, I'm in my 20s, but you know what I'm saying. It's a sad day. She's gone. You know, she left the WWE around 2008, and you know, like I said, a lot of wrestlers tweeted out to her their condolences and everything. There was no word on her death of what happened until a couple days ago. The cause of her death, see, it was reported. Not until last week. It was north of reporting that her death was a suicide, but not substantial until now. She passes away. So Ashley, rest in peace. You have joined the elites up there in the heavens. Now, simply, let's go over a lot of the news that I got here. Let's get this out of the way. You know, I cried simply when she passed away, yeah. I also almost cried hearing the news of Ric Flair passing away, but that was from TMZ being assholes and reporting that he passed away, which he didn't. He had a health scare, according to many sources. His wife presumed that he's okay and everything. And not too long ago, he went in for surgery, so woo! Ric Flair's in good health. He'll be back soon enough. Now let's get right into some news. A lot of all the news I got. Alexa Bliss was removed from Money in the Bank, of course. She didn't compete on Raw either. There's been a rumor going around that she was able to compete due to prior injuries and happenings. Dave Meltzer is reporting she was pulled because of an unspecific injury. He said that the injury was not serious and the decision to pull her from Sunday's match, you know, especially with the ladder match. You know, W's a note, they reached out to the decision post-concussion related. Dave Meltzer also reported it was undisclosed. However, she had a concussion, this and that. Meltzer also added that Bliss vomited after taking a bad bump in a match, which could be related to her suffering from another concussion, which she's had multiples in the past. So she has not been cleared to wrestle, still. And she had another moment of bliss on Raw, and she never got into a match. I'll go over that shortly. I want to go over the Raw review, guys, here. So, quickly, you know, Alexa Bliss is injured again. What else is new with Alexa Bliss? Here's some news on more on Lio Rush I got. He's officially gone with the company. Officially. It has been he's been supposedly fired from WWE. Lio Rush has been moved all ties from his Twitter account. He's already taking booking from other companies, and the WWE is yet to go public with this announcement anyway. Speculation on Lio Rush status is that he hit a long time high and removed all references from WWE and booking. He's taking social media. On his social media, he's taking bookings. First to note that Lio Rush previously listed himself as a WWE superstar and has removed all that, even from his Instagrams. Checking on Rush's Twitter account, he has removed all references and added booking inquiries with email addresses. There was a lot of heat on Rush, of course. There was, with Finn Balor and a few other wrestlers. Mark Henry even was backstage and had a lot of heat with him regarding his attitude, including reports that he disrespected veterans and he even turned down a contract of $3,000, which was what he wanted double, wanted $6,000, $600,000, you know. Rush has yet to comment on the change in social media. He's gone. Good luck in your future endeavors. Hey, Road Dogg. You guys remember Road Dogg? It was reported that last month that Brian James was stepping away from the creative team and taking a break from WWE, which he did the following at the WrestleMania. At this time, it's just that he was frustrated with the scripts of SmackDown were showing but changed by Vince every week. In this latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter added that James was feeling so much pressure during his time on the creative team he needed some time off. This is a situation that Road Dogg was brewing for a long time, and some talk he might return as a producer. So we gotta wait and see what that. Dave Meltzer also reported this week that in a brief stint with WWE, he would be working with Triple H if he comes back. It appears that'd be happening already. Road Dogg has been posting pictures of the Performance Center in Orlando. So, the NXT, he could be working with Triple H. And there's a little more on this Road Dogg McMahon story, similar to today with the main roster. It is believed that wherever James returns to WWE, he'll be working for Triple H in some capacity. So, he'll be on the side of Triple H more than rather working for just Vince. We could see what happens. Quick note from SmackDown. Asuka and Sami Zayn are known as the Kadabi Warriors. There was a lot of backlash from that. A lot of people on social media, they're saying this. My girl Paige, who I got a picture of right here for you guys to see. This Paige on my office. I also got a few pictures up here. Stacy Keibler. I got a picture of random stuff there that I made back in the day. Nonetheless, she posted on her social media Twitter account. She appeared that she heard about all the criticism of the original tweet was deleted, certain things and this and that. They were criticizing the name belonging to certain things. SmackDown former general manager Paige said this on her Twitter account. You know it was the girls who chose the name, right? Well, technically they wanted Kadabi Girls, but it was changed to Kadabi Warriors. Chill. So, I don't mind that. Kadabi Warriors. It's just another name in WWE that they changed. Viking Warriors. Viking Raiders. Still speaking of WWE, for SmackDown, Cesaro is now on Raw, and Sheamus is supposed to be on SmackDown, right? Well, the rumor is that Sheamus was going to retire and has not been since on SmackDown after WrestleMania. Has not been seen since. So has Sheamus retired? No. He has an injury and will be back soon enough. He's got the spinal stenosis in the back, and I have that sort of like a thing where your back is tilted a little bit, but it's not serious at all. All the wrestlers had it in the past. Edge, but Edge was too serious. It's more in his neck. So that's that. Anywho, he's getting ready to come back. He'll be back soon enough on TV again. According to Rusev, Sheamus is doing well. He looks to be in great shape. Videos of them were on their Twitter with him and Lana in their gym. During an interview with the Irish Mirror, Rusev, Lana, and Cesaro downplay some of the rumors making the rounds. Rusev flat out denied the rumors. Retirement? He's in the best shape of his life, he added. He's almost down to 205, the limit of the Cruiserweight division. Sheamus does look great. I have seen a picture of him. He was about 230. Rusev also said he's almost every day they live about 8 houses from each other, so they see each other almost every day. Rusev also said he's fine, he's not going anywhere, he's not nowhere near the end of his career. He's about his 40s. Who cares? Lana also added in a video recently that she worked out with Sheamus Celtic Warriors workouts on her YouTube channel. I didn't know Lana had a YouTube channel. I'm going to find it and I'm going to subscribe. Just like you guys should do. Subscribe to my channel here. Get all the news I got, like I'm providing right now for you guys. So with that said, Cesaro doesn't know when Sheamus will return. Noted that he's building a home. You should check it out on his YouTube channel. Updates, everything is coming. It's all being updates on Sheamus. He's doing well. He's coming back. Yeah, good luck, Sheamus. Start kicking head bros soon. Kicking head bros. Start bro kicking heads again soon. Now, quick news: the War Raiders, the Viking Raiders, are no longer the NXT champs. So basically, they got stripped of the titles. In a legit way that WWE explained to you, not just logically doing nothing and leaving you in the dust of what the fuck happened. So here's what happened. On Thursday morning last week, WWE announced that they are now vacant the tag team titles for the NXT. There was unexpected move of the Viking Raiders, who were the champions, being called up to the main roster. Being called up to the main roster placed the flagship role Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, the flagship show. Ha! In this statement, they said there was a storyline that the titles have been vacated following a controversial ending between the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits. That aired on Wednesday of NXT. This show was taped Wednesday, May 1st, 2019. From the writer, from the Winter Park, Florida. We did the angle on the episode where the Forgotten Sons attacked the Viking Raiders, causing them to be match be thrown out. Joined the three teams and they ended up brawling on the show. So they vacated the title. That's a legit reason to vacate something, to do something. And now, this whole controversy on the United States title, which Samoa Joe was never pinned. He was never pinned. But we're going to have to wait and see next week on Raw. I'll go over that in the show. Review with you guys later during this podcast. But simply, they gave you a reason why. I found this interesting. Very interesting here. WWE had a talent meeting. Talent meeting. There was a talent meeting earlier today headed by Stephanie McMahon. Most of the same rah-rah type speech they do all the time to, this and that. You got to follow our rules, this is the highway. You got to do what we tell you or it's the highway. The only notable thing is that they directly addressed AEW in their competition. They are pushing the WWE brand hard, and the same on social media and YouTube stats. They also talk about the idea of having 1 billion followers, adding every social media performer related to the company. And they also said that they are having to complete video games, movies, and other streaming services as well now, and AEW is in giving a speech. At no time will they ever mention a competing wrestling company. So they're not even going to mention AEW anymore. That's fun. Speaking of AEW, there was a lot of buzz on social media. AEW has officially got a TV deal now with TNT. And as a wrestling fan, I'm happy about this. It's something else to look forward to in wrestling. They have officially announced it that they're going to provide more and more. WWE is going to try to provide more and more. Instead of giving us Roman Reigns every week, do that. Give us more than just Roman Reigns every week. The stupid wild card rule thing is terrible. They're going to, just so that Roman Reigns can appear on both shows trying to boost their ratings, which I think they think is going to happen, which is not. To me, it's all bullshit. They got to get more creative. Stop being lazy. They got to end this stupid brand split. They got to get rid of it. Just have every wrestler appear on whatever show they want. Get rid of the stupid brand split. They want to boost their ratings. Keep Roman off TV. He wasn't there improving the ratings when he wasn't even there. So just keep him off TV for a couple weeks. He's going to be feuding with Shane and Elias. Where's Buddy Murphy? Where's Eric Young? Luke Harper? Do something. Give the other guys talents. And with this new 24/7 title, it's going to be like a mid-card title. Super fucking... Rather not even go over that right now. And just so you guys know, the AEW TV deal, October 1st is the first episode of AEW. They got to keep... What are they going to do? Vince McMahon has got to keep his company going, right? Keep us entertained. Don't leave me with logic gaps, this, that, where's this go? Oh, I could rather watch Jurassic Park for fucking 3 hours on HBO. I've seen it 100 times instead of me changing the channel, muting the button on stupid things that you guys do. You know, it's just there's so much crap in this company that they don't know what to do. What WWE wants to bring to the table, and it smells good, right? Whenever Triple H was a fan of wrestling, Triple H is trying, and every time Triple H tries something, Vince shits on him. You know, Triple H, and I've never been a fan of his wrestling ability, but he's one of the best in talent-wise. He's bringing up all this great talent. Whether you believe it or not, he's upset with Vince. Triple H is upset with Vince McMahon, believe it or not. Good, the old man needs to wake up and have somebody fucking Folgers in his cup of coffee and slap him in his fucking face. Pardon the language, gentlemen and ladies, but I am getting mad because this company has got to change. Now, on a serious note, Triple H wants to take control of WWE. They want Vince down. Hopefully, Vince, once does this, Vince can focus on the XFL. Triple H can gain more and more control of this company, which I think he's already doing. Triple H was very frustrated. The latest version of the Wrestling Observer, Triple H reported that he's said to be very frustrated at how things are going on the main roster, including with Vince McMahon. The problem is reported not that Vince McMahon is open for suggestions, but he's too open for suggestions. So the original versions of the storylines end up watering down. There is too much input from too many people who don't know when one thing changes to another story. It changes everything else in the story. So Triple H says something, Vince says something, Vince gets his way. Also noted on the Brian Alvarez said on the newsletter here, is reported that particularly upset with when it comes to his talent in NXT, he refers to his kids as the past. While he is bothered by the situation, he never was had to go publicly. He picks his spots and talks to Vince McMahon and does it in front of anyone. Stephanie McMahon no longer has development with creatives. As far as Shane, he pitches ideas for himself, and he rarely gets used on his position. So this is all kind of leading up to who's saying who's doing what. The company, they don't know what to do. It was also reported that Vince is trying really hard to get the XFL up again, which is almost there. Begins next year. Mr. McMahon is currently in the office past midnight, 3 a.m. or later, once a week. On Fridays, he's there until 8 p.m. His life mostly work, lifting weights, and some football on the weekend. Once XFL starts, he said that nothing will change, but many believe that the impossible is to devote much time to the XFL. It seems unlikely how much time he puts into it already. The XFL, right? It's stupid XFL. That was garbage then. It's going to be garbage now. So we have to wait and see. Hopefully Triple H can gain more company power soon enough. Now, quick note with Bray Wyatt. I am absolutely cool with the new gimmick. You know, I love it. He's transformed into some creepy Slipknot Joker character. Ooh-wee, wowie. That was pretty cool, you know, with that whole transformation. But I can't wait to see more of when he gets into the wrestling ring with this character. Hopefully, soon. Hopefully we get a new sort of family here and there. I can't wait to see more. And as previously noted, him and JoJo are welcoming their son, Nash 6 Ronto, to the world. JoJo's mother, Alexi, recently shared an Instagram post of some birth complications that JoJo had after the baby was born, Nash, born prematurely. She also stated that JoJo had a severe case of, can't really pronounce the word, but pre-Champasala, I'm going to say, which led to her being hospitalized, being inducted into labor early. Well, here's what it means. Is a pregnancy complication that includes high blood pressure and signs of damage in another organ system. JoJo's mother, Alexi, praised Bray Wyatt. Fortunately, the doctors stopped her bleeding and stabilized her, and she's began hemorrhaging, and she's doing a lot better. She praised Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Bronda, for being so supportive by staying by her daughter's side 24/7 in the process. Go Bray. You know, Bray, this gimmick, like I said, is getting better and better. And him and JoJo have a kid together. You know, she's going to be off TV, of course, for a long time now. Quick news on AJ Styles. He's said to have signed his last contract, and that's with WWE. He said this in a Newsweek letter, noted during a conversation in his contract that this is the last pro contract he will ever sign. So once he's WWE, that's it for him. Found that pretty cool. I'll let you guys know about that. Quickly, the Saudi show is looking more and more better, I could say. So it's set for June 7th. So here are some of the matches that we know so far. We got Goldberg and The Undertaker, Triple H versus Randy Orton, and now Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley, Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor going as the Demon versus Andrade, and we got the 50-man Battle Royal. A Battle Royal. It should be just like a Royal Rumble, right? The greatest Royal Rumble we had. It's likely going to affect the greatest. It's what it says. I found this as part of it. The largest Battle Royal in WWE history scheduled, as 50 superstars are vying to toss one another the top rope. No prize was announced for the winner, though much like last year's Greatest Royal Rumble, it's not likely to be any effects of storylines going forward. So I'm meaning it's just pointless. The guy who wins it's going to win it. Braun Strowman's not even going to be in it this year, so somebody else is going to win it. Big time Battle Royal. And I got some showdown predictions of some other matches that might happen. Now that with Brock Lesnar being your Money in the Bank champion, right? Champion, Money in the Bank champion, Money in the Bank briefcase holder. I don't know if this match will happen versus him and Seth at the Saudi show, but I figured that would be cool to have a match between them. Kofi and Kevin Owens might be there. You never know. And now, on to Money in the Bank. The pay-per-view was not sold out, according to the Wrestling Observer Radio. WWE is not sold out. The Connecticut has not been at this time expected to do well. They only sold about 910 tickets, and they were priced at $70 per entry. Now, let's get right into what happened on Money in the Bank. All the matches, right? You had AJ versus Seth Rollins, best match of the night. Becky versus Charlotte, Becky versus Lacey. Lacey wins. She wins to Lacey. She loses to Charlotte. Bayley wins the Money in the Bank prior and cashes in, and she wins the Women's SmackDown title. Kofi versus Owens. Owens loses. Kofi wins. Roman versus Elias. Oh shit, he won. Roman, that quick. Shane versus The Miz. Terrible match. He just fucking falls and wins. Samoa Joe versus Ray Ray. Samoa Joe was never pinned. Women's Money in the Bank. Bayley won, of course. Tony Nese versus Daivari. Tony Nese won. Daniel Bryan and Rowan lose to the Usos. Now let's go over this card. Nonetheless, wasn't too fantastic for a pay-per-view. But Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. What a match this was. Back and forth action. Great ending. And they shake hands at the very end. Good job. Next night on Raw, they have a little this and that, and then we're fine. Should have brought the club in there. Kofi versus Owens. Decent match. Roman wins. Pointless. Spear for the win. Elias speared, hit him with the briefcase, briefcase. Hit him with his guitar before the match started. They came out and performed, and then Roman comes out and spears him for the win. Like I said, Shane versus The Miz, stupid finish. He basically has him on the top, and he just slips out of his shirt, and he falls to the mat and wins. Becky wins against Lacey. That was a decent match. The ref was kind of looking for a pin or something. And then she switched it to the disarmer. Lacey quickly taps out. And then out of nowhere, Charlotte comes down and decides to have the match now. But before all this happened, we had the Money in the Bank women's match. Was fantastic. That was a decent match. These women put a lot on the line. Mandy Rose was at the top with Sonya, and Bayley came right up and was like, ah! And then knocked her off as she grabbed the briefcase and won. So then Becky almost won. she got the women's right from Lacey Evans, and then out of nowhere, she got her in the roll-up pin, got the 1-2, and then she kicked out, and then she like got hit by Charlotte with a big boot, almost like type of deal, and she won the match. And then Bayley comes out, they're brawling and beating her up, and then Bayley comes out to help, and then she decides to cash in, and she wins. Good for Bayley. Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. This is what I want to talk about. Rey should have never won, which he didn't. But why do you have Samoa Joe lose in that fashion? They basically just gave Rey his title. To the point where Samoa Joe is still losing is ridiculous. It's beyond words. It should not happen. Samoa Joe should get the title back. Next week on Raw, they made an announcement that they're going to discuss the vacant, if it is vacant. They're going to discuss the state of address of the United States Championship. So we'll see what happens there. Tony Nese versus Daivari. That was a decent match. Tony Nese, Long Island native. Good win. Keep up the good work, Tony. And then we have the Roman Reigns match, which I said before. I don't feel like talking about Roman anymore. Bryan and Rowan on the pre-show. This man was in WrestleMania main event match against Kofi Kingston. That was on the pre-show with Rowan against tag team titles, right? I thought it was a tag team title match, but it wasn't, which was good. The Usos won, so whatever. Then we finally got the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ali was right there. All you had to do, even though Brock Lesnar music was hitting, how to do up there is grab that briefcase. You would have won, Ali. Don't look shocked, and then they give it to Brock Lesnar. At first, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, all these men bust their ass, and then this guy comes in and smashes all the ladders down. He actually injured 2 of the cameramen during that scene when he came running down. But it's Brock Lesnar. Fail a little slap on the wrist. Hey, slap on the wrist. Don't do that again. Gives him the briefcase. At first, I was pissed off at this. Like, really pissed off. But the more and more I think about it, it actually is a good idea to give it to Brock Lesnar. Because WWE doesn't have a legit star that they're investing in right now, so they got to give it to Brock. And with him being the Money in the Bank, he could go against Seth Rollins, he could go against Kofi. Hey, go against Kofi. Give us a new matchup. Even though Kofi's going to lose, we might not see the WWE title again for months at a time, but hey, why not? We can't change the fact. We just can be more pissed off. Actually, you know what? The Raw ratings were up this week for the Raw review that I got. They actually were up. During Raw, I made 2.5 viewers last night, up to 7% from last week. Up 7%. So let's go over this Raw review that I have. So to start the show, Brock Lesnar comes out with what's his name? Paul Heyman. And he's doing a little boombox thing, with the briefcase. I thought that was funny. I gave it to Brock. They came out to show the video package of the what happened. Lesnar, he does Lesnar does all this shit with it. He's bobbing his head with the briefcase and that, and he says they replaced him in the match. They said that it was him, that he came out. All the rumors were some occasions that Brock Lesnar sneaked into the building. How do you sneak this man into the building? He got into the building somehow. Then Heyman said both Rollins and Kofi were vulnerable to the most dangerous man in history. They were issued a warning to them. Brought out Rollins. Let's see, he was in a great mood after having the fight of his life against AJ Styles, which he did, and that was a fantastic match. The crowd got a huge pop. He told Lesnar, "Why don't you cash in on me tonight?" Kofi said then Heyman said he's going to wait. He's got to wait till the end of the night. Then that brought out Kofi Kingston, and they all came out. They all got a prop, and Kofi said, "Don't steal your thunder," this and that, this and that. Lesnar found it funny, and they all laughing. Heyman said the 2 champions are auditioning to face him. And he's he's undisputed champion of box office draw. Yeah, it's funny. I saw Heyman's doing the best. He undisputed this and that, and then they all leave. Mick Foley is shown arriving to the building. He's greeted by Zack Ryder, Hawkins, Titus O'Neil, Dana Brooke, Drake Maverick. Even Sami Zayn pleaded to have Lashley help him tonight against Brock Lesnar. I mean, against Braun Strowman, right before their match. And then you got Kingston and Rollins approached by Triple H. She said, they said they had a match tonight. Oh, Paul Heyman said it. And he goes, yeah, I had a chance to tell you guys you're going to be facing Lashley and Baron Corbin in tonight's main event. Could we have a main event with no Baron Corbin for once? And then we got Strowman versus Sami Zayn. Chased them all around the ring. This and that. Match was 45 seconds long. Strowman followed up with a running tackle power slam for the win. Don't need to go over the match now. Then they got Charlie Caruso in the ring. Going to interview Lars Sullivan. Doesn't say anything. Lucha House Party comes out. They all get beat up by him. They get some offense and he destroys all three of them. They have a recap of the Rollins Styles match. Cesaro defeats Ricochet in about 6 minutes. Next match up on the card. Cesaro's looking better and better each day. He's got new theme music. Looks pretty cool. And then they have the match. It's to go back and forth control. Within about 85 seconds of the match, Ricochet had a comeback. He did a spot where he stood on his shoulders and flipped over. Didn't Kalisto do that? I think so. Not too long ago. And then he followed up with the Hurricane Rana to the spin, fucking knocks him out to the floor. They do a commercial time thing. That's just stupid, which I hate. Then once they get back from commercial, Cesaro hits him with the uppercut. Hits him with a backbreaker and a neutralizer. And 1, 2, 3, he wins. Next Caruso is Charlie Caruso interviewing Styles backstage. He says he's worked hard. They get one step back. Styles liked that he worked hard moving forward. He said he can beat Rollins, but last night wasn't him. He's no problem in it. Corbin showed up, mocked his speech. Here they go back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Then he smacks him in his face. It says, there's a slap to the face. Corbin says he will regret that later. And then they show Kofi speaking to Foley backstage. Roman came out to a handful of boos, but it wasn't loud. I think he came out for a promo, but before he could say anything, Shane entered. He called them the best in the world, this and that. The Miz, new focal point, and he noted that Reigns didn't. He noted that, but noted that he hit his son. It's just garbage going on here. I was like, I'm not even bother repeating it. And then Shane introduces a challenge that he will be facing him at Saudi show. And then Shane accepted the challenge. Roman Reigns will be fighting on SmackDown. Let's see. Got his ass kicked by Roman Reigns. This was lame. This was on top of the segment of episode 9 of the episode 9. Segment 9 of 9 p.m. You know. I figured I had to rewind and brought out McIntyre came out. It was just pointless garbage, man, with Roman Reigns again. What else could I say here? Tomorrow, they announced that Bayley is the new women's champion. Elias is there. New Day welcomes back Big E. Miz is confronted by Shane backstage. McIntyre told him they were done. He just got to go through McIntyre to get to Shane. Miz says, we'll see you in the ring. The Revival beat the Usos. The Rivals attacked them before the match. However, they hit the double team move in the cover for the 1-2. After the break, we get more of the same guard, you know, this and that. They go back and forth. It was a decent match. Charlie goes for the roll-up. Dawson gets Jay and Jimmy in the pin and rolls him up, holds his tights like that, and gets the pin. 1, 2, 3, they win. Nikki Cross is approached by Alexa Bliss backstage. Bliss was happy that she's able to take a place except for one problem. She lost. Bliss explained that Talk Show Revival showed up celebrating their victory. And Elizabeth was like, she was grossed out that they touched her. Next, we get the moment of bliss. A special guest was Becky Lynch. Cross came out with Bliss. She asked for coffee She got 2 cups. She poured both cups, one cup into the thing and handed the other one to Nikki Cross. And then finally Bliss comes out. Becky comes out. And then she gets, before she could answer anything that Alexa asked her, the Iconics come out. Oh, man, the Iconics. Lynch told them to shut their mouths, blah, blah, blah. He's no longer Becky Two Bells, this and that. She threatened to slap their heads off, all 3 of them, because Lacey Evans came out. So then they all had a match, 6-woman tag. Becky Lynch was great. He says, I'll do everything, you just sit there and look pretty. To Alexa Bliss. So we go to commercial, we come back, we have the match. Nikki Cross and Becky do their thing. Alexa's outside the ring drinking her coffee, not even getting a step into the match. Soon after that, she leaves the ring. Mick Foley, now it's time to reveal the new championship, the 24/7 title. Yeah, the 24/7 title. Championship. Will be defended any place, anywhere, anytime. Anybody can grab it. NXT, U205 Live, UK, 2K. NXT, everything. Alright. It's an alright title, I think, I would say. Give the mid-carders something to think about. The title looks disgusting, but Foley got no reaction from the crowd when he announced it. It was like, you could hear crickets. He said literally anybody could get the title. Raw, SmackDown, 2 Live, NXT, NXT UK. And a ton of wrestlers came out. We had Cedric Alexander, Eric Young, Mojo Rawley, EC3, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Titus O'Neil, No Way Jose. They all came out for the belt. It was just mayhem. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows both grab it. And then whatever happened, they get pulled out of the ring. So whatever. You get Titus O'Neil versus Drake Maverick in the ring. Drake Maverick's about to grab it. Titus steps on and throws him out. He becomes the first champion. He officially grabs it and runs up the ramp. Then Robert Roode, everybody. Not Bobby, but Robert Roode. He's going to fall if I don't push the button. Robert Roode. Robert Roode, everybody. Come on. There you go. He was running around the ring, the backstage area, running around through the backstage area with the title. Everybody was chasing him. This was great. This is basically what it's going to come down to. One person who's a champion's got to look over their shoulder every fucking 2 minutes. After the break, you see him hide behind a corner. Everybody passes him. To me, this was a dumb segment, but is what it is. It's going to be a big thing now. It's going to be a chance for mid-carders to get some TV time. Also, we had another Firefly Funhouse episode. It was more of a tease of what's going to happen next week and stuff. They announced, just random, who's on the show. The Mercy the Buzzer, Abby the Witch, the Rattling Rabbit, and stuff. So we got to wait and see for next week. Next, we got the Drew McIntyre match versus The Miz. This match is about 13 minutes long. Miz has a comeback. Credit to The Miz. It goes behind the crowd despite being they get kicks out. The last one, Miz gets a Hurricane sort of. Brings McIntyre to the floor. McIntyre follows up with a reverse Alabama Slammer for 2. Miz went for the figure 4. Shane caught him with a sucker punch. Ref calls for the distraction. Somehow the ref was distracted, actually. McIntyre followed up with a spinebuster. He kicks out. Miz applied the figure 4. McIntyre uses chops to get out of it. After this, Shane runs into the crowd. Miz launches into the barricade, tosses him in the ring. The ref's still not paying attention. Shane flew at Miz and attacked, and they Claymore kick via the pin. Gets him for a pin. Afterwards, Shane is set up for coast to coast, a drop kick. Roman Reigns makes the save. Superman punch. Shane bails. Shane grabbed McIntyre. They both leave. Miz thanked Roman. They shook hands. Backstage, Rude bumped into Corbin and Lashley. They stared at him. Rude ran off in the other direction. Corbin and Lashley have no interest in new belts, I guess. Caruso interviewed Rollins and Kingston. This ended with Kingston swelling his hips, calling, "Hey, WWE champion!" And Seth just walks off. They showed the whole Ray situation here, this and that. This next week, they're going to have the address of the United States Championship. So, they showed the replay. Joe knows that he did not lose the title. He basically called out him, just saying, you know, you should have never won the match, and that I should still be champion. And the beating I gave you was nothing to think about. So, let's see what happens next week with that title. Rude is running through the parking lot again. They come into a segment. R-Truth is going to his car. He hides him in his trunk, and he says, "He went that way, that way, that way." And he goes with him. He spins back around, pulls him out of the car, is safe, goes to bring him to his car. There's a ref in the car. And he's like, "What happened?" And beats him up, and then he 1, 2, 3. He gets the match. He gets the title. New champ. He runs off in his car, drives away, which was funny. R-Truth is now the longest reigning. He is the longest reigning 24/7 champion we got so far. 15 hours counting. Next, we have the main event. No disqualification match. All my notes are here. Match was okay because Seth Rollins was in it, but Kofi was in it. Baron Corbin was in it. Bobby Lashley was in it. Terrible match to begin with. Wasn't too great. It was just chaotic because it was a no disqualification match. Trouble in Paradise. Kofi gets the win for the team. Brock Lesnar comes out. And they all like, "Oh, what's he going to cash in?" He doesn't. End. You know what? Wasn't too bad of a show. This week on Raw had a little more to it. Ratings were up. What can you say? You know, decent match. Decent show, decent programming. Getting a little better. We're going to see what happens on SmackDown tonight. It was easy to book. You know, I could book a whole lot better if I tried to. Now, final thought that I have for you guys with this 24/7 championship. It's like pretty much the hardcore title now. So, I mean, you're going to see a lot more of it now, I guess. A lot more superstars you haven't seen on the show. You saw Eric Young since he'd been called to the main roster on Raw now. EC3, where's he been? Yeah, you've seen him there. The Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. On the SmackDown side now, we're going to see some other superstars that are on SmackDown that we haven't seen in a while. Maybe Sheamus shows an appearance for the first time. Rusev, Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, this is gonna be for the mid carders. And they might even. There's been a rumor really quickly. I want to bring this up about a Legends Championship coming. Mind blown, right? The Legends title for all legends that can get the title. They might even put that in a match between him and Undertaker and Goldberg, from what I've been hearing. But that's just a quick little note for you guys. So what you guys do is like, comment, subscribe. Leave all your comments down below. Hit that bell for all notifications. And I'll see you guys next time. Oh yeah. I'll have a SmackDown review tonight as well. So look out for that. Take care.